I will open up my presentation so it makes it easier for me to follow. Yes, okay, I'm Olivera, or Oli Tomic. I'm the founder of 8People. It's an AI consulting agency. We're based in Melbourne, in Australia, a beautiful city as any other Australian city, I must say. And so if you're watching from somewhere from overseas, I strongly encourage you to come and visit us. It's a great place to live and travel and see so many beautiful things, as you know, you've seen on some of the photos already. Today we'll cover the topic of human and AI partnership. And then I will look at that from the organizational point of view, because we're sort of either employees or we're entrepreneurs, or so I think it's an important subject. But before we start, I would like to pause and just reflect. I mean, if we think about COVID, we see the time when, well, you know, before that, we really didn't know much about AI. Very few people knew what was going on in that space. And, you know, just after COVID, AI sort of started popping out as a topic and we started to engage. I must say that I started looking into AI sort of technology, if you like, for the last maybe 7 years or so. More so because I had a bit of a love for technology, but also I started to realize how important this technology is going to be in helping us with our work. So back in late 2021 or maybe early 22, when I was working for an organization, I came across an AI solution that would be really great for me to use in my work, which was creating video content for training enterprise sales teams. And I thought, well, this is amazing. I really need to try and trial this. So what I did is I approached the leaders in the business to obviously pay for the subscription, which, you know, they were a little bit surprised. And I was asked to check what other tools we have in the company that can help me. But I was luckily persistent and I got approved, which was at that time only $35 a month. So we have access to a platform where I can design it however I like. I can choose an avatar that can speak for me. And also I created a narration. So this was created then into a video that would train our teams. So as part of that, I obviously tested this with a couple of our sales team members, and they were blown away by the avatar and what it did. So just that little example, that was my first introduction of an AI solution that was successful, that was, you know, I was able to basically transform part of my work and deliver so much more. Obviously, since then, there have been so many AI tools and everyone's experimenting with it. But these AI tools, we know that they can think and do things faster than us. But of course, they still don't have the human touch and feel. Now, I'm not suggesting they may not in the future. We don't know what's going to happen. But what we do know is we are actually leveraging these tools to help us do our work, you know, whether it's faster, more efficient, or whatever it is. So, and you know, these days we have a record use of AI tools such as ChatGPT, where weekly usage is around 700 billion active users. So which is absolutely unbelievable. But as we're building AI today, sorry, I'll just bring that back. I wanted to mention a couple of other things. As we're building these AI tools these days, it's important that we innovate, and how do we lead in this space? Now, tech companies are racing to this. We've started with AGI, with AI, sorry, and then we went to AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which is helping us create content. It's scraping information, whether it's allowed or not allowed to do, and we're moving towards artificial super intelligence. Obviously, a lot of leaders and visionaries are talking about this, and we're not there, but we'll be getting there, maybe even in 10 years or so. Everyone's got different predictions. I wanted to touch briefly on the agenda. I think it's important that we just cover a few topics. It's only a brief presentation. So we'll touch on what is compassion and why it matters, what is happening right now, some of the risks, how can AI elevate human purpose, and what you can do. And right at the end, I propose several ideas for consideration. So what is compassion and why it matters? Compassion means different things for different cultures. We heard yesterday from various speakers that were based in Japan, in Osaka, where this event started yesterday at 12 p.m. our time in Australia. They spoke about passion and what it means to them. So I will just take this opportunity to read a few notes that I took and from the meaning of compassion. So it was energy, quality, and virtue. It was listening without judgment, awareness from the heart, respect and patience. There was also a reference to how we checked our ego. I really love that one. And spirit of Hawaii, which is meaning openness to the third answer, because sometimes we can get stuck with black and white answers and things like that, but it's really openness about, more feedback. But for me, compassion is really about doing the right thing and respecting others. I was fortunate enough to live on these continents, and I realized by interacting with the people, whether on a personal level through business, my dealings and working there, I realized this means there are different cultural sensitivities and different things that are sort of that people value. So if we look at Asia, and even from yesterday's event in Japan, we see harmony and humility. Really love that. And I think some cultures can learn from this. From living in Africa, for example, I saw a very strong community and care about each other. I was witnessing, women cooking in the middle of the village for the whole village, where their kids would be looked after automatically by whoever's around there. And it was a very safe environment. I think we all can learn from each other in this sense. We have the responsibility of building these things into AI to make them better, because we're the builders. We may think of ourselves, well, I'm not building the AI tools, it's not my responsibility. I would argue absolutely not. We are in this transition process, in the building process of AI, and all of us are making that input. We all have an opportunity to provide all this feedback to AI to make it better, to make it more trustworthy, to give us better outcomes. Because we have to reflect diverse cultures, and compassion is our strategic advantage. So AI, as we know, is evolving very quickly. And if you read the news in the morning, there's no shortage of AI news. We see top tech companies investing millions and billions of dollars into the AI infrastructure. They're investing into AI solutions. They're racing with each other to be better and so on. Not only are tech companies investing in their own infrastructure and the solutions, but various industries are also taking advantage in transforming their businesses with AI. The leaders in this sense, the finance sector is certainly leading the way. Health sector, manufacturing, cybersecurity, and so many more. I mean, even if you see an example from a few days ago, Citigroup is investing almost $3 trillion in the next 4 years. I don't know about you, but I certainly can't wrap my head around it and about the money that's going into AI and what exactly it's going to do. The tech companies that I'm working with, they've been in the business for about 10 years, and they have leaders such as Morgan Stanley, Deutsche Bank, Citibank, all working with them and investing heavily into these solutions. So we see so much money pouring in. So we might sometimes ask ourselves, are these AI tools that organizations or individuals are building, are they safe? Are they good for me? We all understand some of them are not as good as the others. And we have to be careful with which ones we're using. So AI, there are a couple of really great examples of AI solutions being really good. One of them is Anthropic, and they are actually pioneering AI safety and innovation. It's in a US company founded by Dario and Daniela Amodei, and their pure focus is AI safety and innovation. So they're not rushing into anything else out there. So I feel that Anthropic is certainly going to gain a competitive advantage here, in particular for those who are looking, to if they're concerned about the information safety and so on. The other great example is intelligent internet. This was founded by Imad Mostaq. He was previously a CEO of Stability, and he's realized through his AI work that obviously AI can give you so much advantage. There's also a lot of disadvantage. And him having smaller kids, he's obviously asking himself questions. How will my kids, use AI? And which is absolutely a question I think on every parent's mind. How will they use it in a safe way? So he started this safe, intelligent internet that his kids will be able to use, not just his kids, but all these new generations. And I think also there were a few other things that triggered him to work on such a project. And one of them was where a teenage boy from the US unfortunately committed suicide. And it just makes us think that some of these AI tools are not that safe, and we need to think about how to use it. Now, apart from AI is not being as good, we also have an opportunity to change the world using AI. And one of them is healthcare. So healthcare industry it's been pretty proactive in building AI solutions. So if we look at this example from the World Economic Forum, we see that 4.5 billion people are lacking access to essential health services, which is just so imaginable. I think for us who are living in Australia, I think it's just hard to understand how is this possible. So AI technologies are now helping doctors, with diagnosis, with triage patients and detect early diseases, which is absolutely amazing. Healthcare sector is also developing various medicines. Now they can happen at speed, something that used to take 5, 10 years, 15 years maybe. Now it's only taking a fraction of a time that the new medicines can be developed and save so many lives. There are also some projects like Human Longevity Project that Peter Diamandis is the founder of this project, and they're working on prolonging human life. If you're not already following Peter Diamandis, I strongly encourage you to do so. He's a founder, visionary, he's a futurist. He holds weekly podcasts with other leaders as well. It's very, very informative. So if you want to learn about the AI space, it's absolutely a great start. Another industry that's also, as we mentioned earlier, that is leveraging AI is cybersecurity. Hackers have realized, hey, there are so many AI capabilities now. We can leverage those tools to share more phishing attacks and attack and gather your personal data and so on. We are, as you can see, there's been a 1,200% surge in phishing attacks. We are not surprised. We are pretty much constantly on our phones, in the digital space. We manage our accounts, we manage our pension funds, and so on. So this is a great ground for hackers to come in. And so, yes, we need to be vigilant, absolutely. But this industry is actually doing a lot of work and building AI tools to help support and protect us online. What are some of the other risks? Of course, there are so many which we can't cover in such a short presentation, but I wanted to take the angle from the organization point of view and how that works with the humans. So if we look, there are so many tools out there. So if you're a leader, you think, where do I start? How do I incorporate AI tools into my business? Is it safe? Who can help me? And there are no, organizations that have been there long enough that you can sort of, trust and you're not sure what to do about it. So those who own these organizations are obviously putting a lot of pressure, or commercial pressure, on the CEOs and the owners of the business. So, and what happens here, leaders will make a decision that is a tech decision, short-term profit first decision, and not really considering the human part of this process. In this process, there is a lot of competition, with different organizations, fear of missing out. So what does that mean for the leader? They're thinking, well, if my competitor is using AI and I'm not using it, I'm already behind. Not only that, but what happens in 1 month now in an AI-enabled space used to probably take 1 year before. So they really need to think carefully, how do they move forward? And again, like I said, human spirit becomes under strain because the technology becomes the focus. What we can do if we're working in an organization, or whether it's a small, medium, or large size business, what we need to do is start collaborating with AI and evolve and add value, help the leaders. So as they're trying to transform their business, we already feel like we're adding value and it's uplifting our spirit. Apart from AI elevating the human, the business, and how business can be more efficient and drive revenue and provide personalized experiences and so on, AI can also elevate our human purpose. We can do things that were not possible before. We have more time. If we refer to the Maslow hierarchy of needs, we can see that AI is enabling us to become faster in what we do, and we can create a better life as a result. We mentioned longevity. We're looking at expanding human life. We are looking at, like I said, having more time and so on. If we look at a few examples, so psychological needs, if we look at air, water, food, shelter, we have AI that can do water testing, air testing, shelter, can be built by robots. There is a talk that one robot would cost $30,000 per year, which is 40 cents per day. You can work maybe not 24/7, but it can work long hours. Robots are building the automotive industry, so they're building cars already. There are also examples of robots operating medically as well. So there are different trials there. In employment, we see employment is basically changing in front of our eyes. We are being more efficient with the work we do. I hope that we can have some more work-life balance as we have these tools so we can work less and have more time with our loved ones and doing some hobbies that we really love. We're seeing some of the roles that are, admin type or repetitive type or with repetitive type of work, which is great that we're actually moving away from those type of works. But the new roles are emerging. So it's a great time to learn about these new roles and how we can add value and feel more satisfied and feel like we're adding value. So some of the roles that are emerging are like AI ethicists, AI engineers, AI project managers, and so on. Apart from the entrepreneurship, what we also see is the rise of entrepreneurship. I think from what I'm seeing is this is the best time to start your own business. And the reason for that is we all have certain skills and capabilities that maybe not everybody has. So we can leverage this with AI tools. So we can go and build tools. There are a number of no-code tools that are available out there. The cost is really low. So I encourage you to start experimenting and just making small steps because you won't know how far they can actually take you. So yeah, and also like with the self-esteem. So AI is basically enabling us to get smarter, to get information, right now, whether it's us speaking to ChatGPT or another AI tool while we're driving a car to a destination or whatever that is. Obviously, more knowledge we get, more we process, more self-esteem we'll have. So I think as humans, we actually can leverage AI in a very positive way. Apart from us personally leveraging AI, I think the organizations will take this opportunity to leverage AI capabilities to transform their business through massive transformative purpose. So what we might see is emergence of AI tools that will do various activities in the business with the human in the loop. So I think it's important for us to keep making these baby steps and learning and moving forward to more satisfied work and where we add more value. So as all of these changes are happening, what can you do? How can we optimize the future of the AI world? I think first, all of us have that duty to design AI for a better world, and now is the time. We need to build AI to represent humans with dignity and all our cultural aspects and so on. So as I mentioned earlier, even if you're just starting to work with AI or you're working in an organization where AI gets introduced, start to contribute. Start to upskill in AI literacy. Try to understand what that means. Champion compassionate design straight into the first AI that you get access to. Leaders know that they need to develop their people in tech fluency. So they will be very positively, they will be very happy if you approach them that this is what you want to do. They know that we don't know how to deal with AI at this stage. So it's okay if you're making mistakes. Just start. And what's important is support your family, friends, and community to drive the change. you don't underestimate the input that you will have and the effect that you will have on the people around you. So wherever you are, if you're involved in politics, economy, or wherever you are, we are there to share policies and standards which will guide the next generation of intelligence. So we're in absolutely amazing time, and I think sometimes we can't really understand what that means. So yeah, lead by example. And at the end of my presentation, again, I wanted to just provide a few ideas for consideration, and what you can do. So the first step is see AI as a partner. How can you amplify your purpose? What is it that you're doing? Start asking questions. How can AI help me in that process? It's not just for me, but also for the broader, people around you in the communities. Once you build your AI literacy and understand what AI can and cannot do, it's your start, because that will be your foundation for everything else that you do with the AI and how you get involved. I must say it's very important that you keep developing your human skills. Your human skills such as empathy, creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence. These are obviously important for us as humans, but also for building AI solutions. As I mentioned, ask how AI can help me do this better, whatever you're doing, and integrate it into your work and life. Again, I wanted to say, obviously, share that knowledge and experience. Why is that so important? AI can't work by itself. AI needs people and different inputs, and more people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different age groups, and so on, the better the input. But don't underestimate, if you're building an AI solution, try and involve as many people as possible, because your AI will be so much better, so much smarter than AI by itself. AI is not supposed to work independently, so it cannot work without us humans. So, and just want to say, enjoy the process. It's important to enjoy it. And I think once you start, if you haven't started, you will enjoy it even more. So I pose a question, what does a compassionate human AI partnership look like? It's hard to tell, but what I can tell is it will depend on us. If we provide it with the right inputs and good information, I'm sure we will see some really good partnership between us. And the last thing I want to mention is I want to refer to the essential Japanese concept of this whole event, from Wa and Ma, which is about harmony and pause. I think what we need to do is it's a perfect actually concept because for this topic, because we're talking about how do we bring human and AI partnership together in a harmonious way, in a good way, not just for us, but the generations to come. But we also need to pause and move away from technology and be human. And so I feel like this is a great topic, and a great concept that the Japanese have, one of many. And I wanted to say thank you, a big thank you for, joining me in this presentation. Feel free to connect via LinkedIn and follow us if you like for weekly newsletters. Thank you very much.